Hi, everyone. How are you? Hello, 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 everyone. Greetings, salutations, all that good stuff. All that good stuff. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. I'm going to give it a second so people can come on in. Going to give it a few so people can come on in. Yeah, going to give it a second so people can come on in. So, let me step away for just a moment. I'm going to be right back and then we're going to start our discussion. So bear with me one moment. All right, beloveds, I am back. Let me get situated and comfortable. Get situated and comfortable. All right, so, you know, there are so many things going on, right? Spiritually, esoterically, things that are or have the potential to change so much, right? And one of the things that I was looking at, or that I started to look at maybe a few months ago, and I don't remember how I got there, but one day I was doing some digging and I ended up at okay, the solar eclipses. Started doing a little bit more digging, United States and the United States Pluto return, right? A lot of energy that has the potential to bring about change. And I was looking into that with respect to these eclipses. Whether we know it or not, eclipses, and when I'm speaking of eclipses, I'm speaking of solar eclipses, they happen, but them impacting large swaths of land repeatedly over a span of a couple years, it happens, but it's not that common at the same time, right? So we are in eclipse season, and I think one of the starting changes was the Great American Eclipse of 2017. So what I want to do is I want to pull up some maps, I'm going to pull up some information, and we can kind of look through things and kind of discuss. First, let me give a shout out to everyone that's here. Let me put up a banner. Um, Let me put up a banner. All right. So let me say hello to everyone. Hey, Donna, Brittany, Kevin, Adele, Seshamar Side-Eye. Yes, you're here. Miss Asha, Forever Ever, Andrea, CN1, Lawana. Valerie says she's listening while she drives. Okay, make sure that you're safe and you're careful. All right. So let me pull this up because I found it very interesting. I found it very interesting. And let me pull this up. Let me pull this up. Let me pull this up for you all. Okay. So here it is. I've added it to the stage. Yes, shout out to the channel members, my Patreon members. I love you all. Thank you for supporting me. Shout out to the subs of the channel as well. Okay, so if we can see here, let me see if I can make this bigger. Okay, this was the total solar eclipse of 2017. This was August 21st. I remember I was in the Atlanta area. I remember parking my chair, my lawn chair in my front yard, watching the eclipse, Mr. Hoodoo and I. And if you've ever experienced a total solar eclipse, you understand the magnitude of the energy, right? This is when day becomes night and then it's day again. So, esoterically speaking, spiritually speaking, you have a platform, okay, that becomes enshrouded, that becomes covered, and then there are revelations. Okay, so things come into the light, things step into the light. And this is a time, for those people who are spiritual workers, if you are a strong spiritual worker, you can work with the power of the eclipses, the solar eclipses. If you are not, I say to stay away from it, okay? Because when you have concentrated power like this, it touches things, it affects things, okay? So this was the 2017, this was the path, okay? And see, it's going from Oregon to South Carolina. Okay, so this was the path of the 2017 total solar eclipse. The path of the total solar eclipse, August 2017. Okay, so then we're moving forward. Some interesting things started happening after that. Okay, so the next one, speaking of solar eclipses, the next one is or was, and let me pull that up. Okay. This was the annular solar eclipse of August 2023. This just happened. This just happened. Hey, Mel. Hey, Alikia. Hey, Joanna. You have to have proper glasses to see them right. Hey, High Vibe. So this is the path of the most recent solar eclipse. This was October of last year. Now, it was not a total solar eclipse. It was annular, meaning this was a ring of fire. The moon did not fully cover and shade entirely. There was a ring of fire. This is an annular solar eclipse. But look at its path. Okay? It's this lovely squiggly line, a stretched out S, a stretched out slinky, if you will. But look at where it's touching. Look at where it's touching. Yeah, here in California, Isis, I totally forgot about it. And I noticed it started to get dark. I'm like, wait, it's not supposed to rain. And then I'm like, oh, I remembered it was the eclipse. So it got a little dark for a few minutes here where I am in California. Hey, Nikki. But look at where it's touching. Look at where it's touching. So we ended one eclipse cycle from 2017 until this one. This one, October 23, was starting a new cycle because this is the power of day and night in just a small amount of time. All the power of the day, all the power of the night in a small fraction of the time. This is what these eclipses are. Look at the path. Okay, look at the path of it. United States, Mexico, Central America, South America. Okay? This is the path. Now, when we move forward to the upcoming eclipse, okay? When we move to that, it's going to look a little bit different. It's going to look a little bit different. And I just want to bring this up so you all can just visually see what this is going to look like across the country. Let me bring, okay. Okay, share this one. Okay, so we're going to Earth Sky. This is what this is going to look like. And it opened up in a new tab. Okay, but this is what this is going to look like. So as you can see, it's starting out here and it's moving this way. Okay, it's starting out here, moving this way. So moving across Mexico, through the United States, up the eastern seaboard, Maine, Vermont, up there. Now, here is the thing. Here is the thing. And I think we're starting to see some of it right now. And the thing about it is, again, this is the one from October of 2023. That was just an annular. It wasn't total. If we look at this, we can see, look at the United States. Hey, Flora, look at the United States. This is an X. X marks the spot. X marks the spot. There is a target, a bullseye, something that we can point to with this upcoming solar eclipse. This is going to be a total solar eclipse. X marks the spot. X marks the spot. Okay. What's interesting is that if we, and let me go back to one of these other pages, if we really, really just focus in on it, okay, this is October 2023, we got April 2024. If we really focus in on it, look at where all of this is, especially because remember, October 2023, this was the new jumping off point. This was the new jumping off point. And then we're looking here, and this is from the American Astronomical Society. We're looking here. What's here in this bullseye? From October last year to April 2024. What is in this bullseye? What is in this bullseye? What state is that where they showing up intersect? That is Texas. That is Texas. That's Texas, honey. Let's go on here. That's Texas. Mm-hmm. That's Texas. That's Texas. Oh, Brittany says what? It's about to go down in Texas. Are you all not informed? Oh, my dear beloved Brittany, are you not informed? Let me pull this up for you. Let me pull this up for you because I don't know if you know, but we're gonna go down. We're gonna go down it. We're gonna go down. Okay. We're gonna go down this because again, we need to understand how things happening esoterically, um, spiritually, astrologically are affecting us here. Okay. So let me mute this and then I'm going to open this up. Let me share this tab instead. So the other day, and when I say the other day, I really mean like Thursday-ish, last week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, this is already happening. This is already happening. Okay. It's getting started in Texas. The border control, and someone asked me to kind of touch on this with regards to people entering the country through various means, right? Someone asked me to touch on this, right? This is exactly what's happening. The other day, probably it was either Wednesday, Thursday, I'm doing what I do. I was looking around on Twitter. Oh, the Supreme Court is telling Texas, no, you have to let, the federal border agents do their job. Texas is like, no, there are people entering the country via various means here all across the border, and nothing is being done to stop this. Nope, Pluto is still here. Pluto's still here, and I'm gonna bring up the chart in a minute. But yeah, this is what this was. This is what this was, and let me make myself smaller. Okay, because I'm in my Twitter right here. And this is live Twitter. I mean, I pulled up the hashtag from the other day, but what's happening on the right side, that's current live. Okay, so let me open this up so you all can see this. Let me open this up and we're going to listen to this. Okay, because with Texas saying enough, the governor of Texas is like, nah, these are governors from other states here in the country saying they stand behind Texas 100%. Screw you, president. No one should have to deal with what is happening. Okay. So let's play this real quick. Let's play it.
Standing by the Texas Governor Abbott, who has put razor wire on his border to preserve and protect his own state. Kristi Noem of South Dakota is among them. Governor Noem, thank you very much. It's good to have you here today.
Thank you so much for inviting me to talk about.
So there were a bunch of governors saying they stand with Texas. They signed some paper. They all wrote letters saying, the U.S. government is doing nothing. The states have a right to protect themselves, protect their people, protect the citizens. We shouldn't have to deal with this. Okay? We shouldn't have to deal with it. Was a whole thing on Twitter to the point where civil war was trending on Twitter. This was a whole thing, like around Wednesday. This is probably about a week ago. Okay, this was a whole thing. Now we have the caravan of truckers going down there. Um, they're putting up more razor wire. Don't forget, Texas has started busing and sending people to the Northeast and to Chicago. Okay? To the Northeast and to Chicago. So let me just go back here. So we can see this. Do you all see this? Texas sending people to the Northeast to Chicago. Texas said, you like it? Sure, here you go. Sending people to the Northeast, to Chicago, to other quote unquote sanctuary city places. Okay. So I want you all to think about this in terms of what is going on. Hey, Queen Black. Yeah, so, and I'm not saying that this is civil war. I'm not saying this at all. What I'm saying is when X marks the spot and Texas has been in the spotlight and look at what's happening now. It's getting to the boiling point of they are sending people to the Northeast, to Chicago, and people are displacing. These incoming people are displacing people who are already there, utilizing resources that are already there, that are for people who pay taxes that are already there. Okay, because it's been going down in Chicago too, on the South Side. Well, they've been digging into the different aldermans about taking away resources in neighborhoods and giving it to people being bused there. Okay. These are things that are going on right now. These are things that are going on right now. Now Renaissance woman, I hope you're not displaced, Laura. Well, again, we're going from 2017 eclipse, 2023 annular eclipse, 2024 total solar eclipse. We're between 65 and 70 days out from this. Okay. I think things just on a national level, not even this, I think things just on a national level, things are going to be interesting. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. United States is currently in its Pluto return. Pluto is the ruler of destruction, tearing things down, restructuring things, but restructuring things, tearing things down because what's going on doesn't work. This is what Pluto is about. Pluto is the higher octave of Mars. This is not just destruction just to destroy. This is because certain things going on aren't for the best. No, it's not Vedic astrology. It's Vedic and Western astrology. Okay? Yep, the Pluto return. Hey, positive queen on purpose. So, let's kind of pull up the chart and kind of look at it because I kind of want to touch on a couple things going on. Now, like I said, this is just what was happening, like I said, on Twitter. It was a whole thing, border such and such, such and such. Let me escape out of this. It was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. Let me bring this up so you can kind of see this map. It was a whole thing. So visually, when it was saying the states that were standing with Texas, visually, this is what this looked like. I can't tell you, Kevin. I don't know if it means the U.S., but things are going to get interesting even more so here in the United States because this is where these total eclipses. This is where they're hidden. They're hidden here for the United States. The next total solar eclipse won't be until 2026, and I think it'll be like in Spain. Okay. But these were the states who were saying that they were riding with the Texas governor. I mean, a total huge thing. It was a huge thing going on. Okay. A huge thing. I think things will definitely be interesting for sure. Okay. So let me bring up the chart so we can kind of look at the chart together. So we can kind of look at the chart together. So we can pull up the chart together and look at it together. And then we're gonna look into some more things. And then we're gonna look into some more things. Let's see which one is their inner wheel. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So let me pull this up right here. Share this tab instead. Okay, now this isn't my chart. This is a chart from Cafe Astrology because we're all looking at some things. We're all looking at things, right? And this is the chart, as you can see, it's cast for 2:21 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is when this is going to be, happening, going on, right? And then I'm going to bring up my chart so we can look at it together. Okay, so what we can see here, this is happening in Aries. This is happening in Aries. As you can see, Aries is here. This is happening in Aries. So we can see the eclipse going on here. The moon, sun at 19 degrees in Aries, and they are exact. 19 degrees, 24 minutes, 90 degrees, 24 minutes. Okay. This is this. The sun and the moon in Aries, because this is going to be a new moon. Okay. This is going to be the time of the new moon. So we have the sun in Aries, we have the moon in Aries. Okay. Then we have this square Pluto. This is where this comes in, and this is why people are just like, this is real interesting. This is real interesting. I mean, yeah, countries have their own Pluto returns, but I don't live in other countries. I live here. And remember that the United States is one of the youngest countries in the world. Not the absolute youngest ones, but when you have countries that have been around for 500, 600, 1,000 years, and United States is just a little 200 and some years old, we're kind of the baby of the bunch. We're kind of the baby of the bunch. But returns are very important, right? As it pertains to quote unquote like your birth chart and things like that. So when major planets are making, returns to like the exact degree points from when something was born or formed, that, we really want to take a look at that. Okay. So this is square to Pluto. This is square Pluto in Aquarius. Okay. Aquarius, that's that energy of starting things, igniting things. Aquarius wants to be free. Okay. Aquarius wants to be free. We have these Pluto energies. This is a lot. And like I said, the sun in Aries, the moon in Aries. We all know this is initiation energy again. This is more initiation energy, but initiation energy backed with the risk taking, with some of the slick mouth, fighting, disturbances, outbursts. This is Aries. Okay. This is Aries. This is Aries. And like I said, this is again square to this Pluto. Square to this Pluto. Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto in Aquarius. So Pluto in Aquarius. Now, let me pull up my chart that I did. And let me try and take a quick screenshot of it because I want to touch on something else. I want to touch on something else. And here's why I find it interesting. Like I said, this eclipse. Let me go to stop screen, presents. I want to present this. Share screen. I want to present this. Okay, let me look at some of these questions. Do you think the American people are truly going to fight and want that change and take advantage of this energy, or do you think it'll be the 1% that does? You know what? I don't know. I don't know because it's very interesting with regard to there are things that people say that they want, and then there are, people who go about and do it. But I will say that it's been very interesting with quote unquote the quote unquote caravan going down there. And then instances of you have instances of you have instances of let me see if this is the right one. Yeah, okay. You have instances of, like I said, some people are doing things, some people aren't doing things, right? So let me hide this. Okay, so let's look at this here. Hey, Journey with Corinne. Okay, so this is my chart, right? Because I added in some other things. So again, we can see this here. We see it here. Let me bring the cursor down. So we can see here that we have the sun, the moon, conjunct, exactly conjunct. This is a total solar eclipse, 19 degrees, 24 minutes, 19 degrees, 24 minutes. Let's not forget our buddy here, Chiron, the one that looks like a green key to the left of the moon. Let's not forget our buddy Chiron here, okay? Chiron, this is when we're talking about the spiritual wound, right? The spiritual wound, how that may manifest when it comes to a person or an event when we're looking at a chart. Chiron here is in Aries because Chiron is going to be in Aries, I think, until like 2026, 2027. But Chiron is here in Aries. Chiron is conjunct as well. So we have this energy from this total solar eclipse align exactly conjunct with this energy of Chiron. This is the wound of self. Remember, we're starting with Aries. When it comes to Western astrology, we start with Aries. Aries, that will be the first house. This is you. This is your ego. This is self. This is how I appear to others. This is my identity. So we have this solar eclipse energy going on in Aries, total solar eclipse energy in Aries, paired with Chiron, completely conjunct in the wound of, this is the wound of self with Chiron in Aries. Could this be self-harm? It could be. It could be injuries. It could be fighting. It could be, but this is the energy of battle. Okay. This is the energy of battle. Remember, again, Aries is initiating energy. Hey, Black Beauty. This is the theme of, this is the wound of self. How do I appear? What is my identity? And as we're talking about this, not with regards to a person, but with regard to the United States, there are a lot of questions about what is the United States identity. Citizens are wondering what is going on. Some people say the United States is not living up to, the Constitution. We're not enforcing the correct laws. We're just letting things happen. There are this change here. There are this change there. Changes for certain groups of people. Changes not for everyone. There's a lot to unpack when we're talking about this wound of self paired with this warlike battle energy. This is energy of conflict, but at its rarest form. Again, as you can see here, what's going on? Pluto is still in Aquarius, okay? Pluto is still in Aquarius. Now, again, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. But we have to see how it plays out. But the energies are very, very interesting here, okay? The energies are very interesting, and we need to make sure that we are paying attention to what's happening here in this country and paying attention to things that have the potential to go off the rails, to be points of contention. Don't forget, here in the United States, this is, we're getting ready to go into election as well. We're getting ready to go into presidential election. Each party are trying to get their nominees going. Okay. This has the potential. We have to see how it's going to play out. But just looking at this energy here, okay, looking at this energy here, and then I'm just looking at, we have Uranus and Jupiter. Okay, Uranus and Jupiter, they're pretty much conjunct. So is Jupiter gonna fuel any sudden changes coming from Uranus? Will Jupiter fuel that? Will Jupiter fuel that? We don't know if Jupiter is going to fuel that or not. We don't know. Because we know Jupiter, prone to excess. Jupiter is going to give you more. Jupiter over here conjunct. What is Jupiter going to fuel any sudden changes? Is Jupiter going to fuel this? I don't really see any like major points of contention. I think the energy is free to do what it's going to do. Okay? I think it's free to do what it's going to do. Free to do what it's going to do. Now, hopefully, if we're looking at Venus there, Venus is in Aries, but hopefully Venus will come behind and bring us to a point of where we can heal, right? And play nice again. But again, and the thing about it is when we're talking about these eclipses, from what I was reading in astrology, the longer the duration of the totality, it's measured in years. So for example, with the 2017 total eclipse, it was 2 minutes and maybe 45 seconds. So that's 2.5 years. This total eclipse is going to have totality for 4 minutes, at least 4 minutes. So we're talking about 4 years of energetics after this total eclipse, bringing us to 2028. So we have no clue what we're going to see. We have no clue what we're going to see, but it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, especially with all the different changes and whatnot. It's going to be interesting. But this right here, all of this foolishness going on here, and what's funny is what I see that makes it just a little bit more interesting is this happening. Of course, this chart is for California, but we're just going to roll with it for right now. Per this chart in the 10th house, it's a house of action. It's the most public. It's the most public house of the charts. Okay, so this is about structure, corporations, public image, discipline, authority, how things play out with relation to a group or a society, boundaries. This is all the energy of the 10th house. Again, this 10th house, because this is where I calculated this chart. If it was for like the East Coast, the houses will be different. But we're just going to go with this right here. We're just going to roll with it right now. We're just going to roll with it. So I really think that, we should pay attention to what's going on. Make sure you find various sources for what's going on in the world. Because there's a lot happening in the world. I think in Germany, they were over there protesting. They're far right because they're far right people over there in Germany getting out of pocket. They're over there getting out of pocket. Okay, we've seen some of the same quote unquote immigration issues play out with regards to France. That was last year. I don't know if you all saw it. We have this going on, especially like I said, X marks the spot. That was Texas, baby. That was Texas. And we see Texas is going to always Texas, but we see in a lot of the crazy abortion laws, abortion bans. Now this Texas marks the spot. X marks the spot. So Texas on the micro, but the United States on the macro. Again, we have to see what's going on. I was looking at a chart with regards to potentially who might make it as far as securing the vote by the time that we vote here in the US in November. I was looking at that too. Is something sudden potentially going to happen? Is it going to? We have to pay attention. We have to pay attention. Absolutely, Brittany. Absolutely. I know Brittany. I think you're what, in Oakland? So you know where I am. I'm in the San Jose area. And you're right. The shenanigans they're off the chain. I saw that when I got here. There are some things I enjoy about living here. It's a lot of fresh food, a lot of fresh produce, farms, it's a lot, but there are some things there's some things going on. California is not this perfect democratic state like they want to make people believe. There are things going on here too. And overall, just taking the temperature, again, remember, we're talking about Chiron. This is the wound of self, how that expresses, how that needs to be healed. We're talking about Chiron and Aries in this first house. This is identity issues. I think this is coming back to identity issues as it pertains to who we are as Americans, who we are as a country. What does that mean? And examining all that as it pertains to the major issues that are going on here in this country. I can't tell you that. I can't tell you that, SS. I would just say for everyone to just examine what's going on around them. Remember from yesterday, the discussion from yesterday. Now, with the February 9th new moon coming up, right? Is going to be the time to examine what's going on in your world and determining where change needs to be made before we start moving further along the year, because it's harder to backtrack. Remember, this is happening in April. This total solar eclipse is going to be April 8th. April 8th. So we're going to be right into springtime, initiating energy. Right. So I can't tell you whether or not people should be, they have to make that up and make the decisions for themselves to see. I can't tell people that. But I will say examine what's going on around them and seeing what do they like, what don't they like. And they have to make a decision from there. Yeah, yeah, high vibe, your California relatives think Newsom is great. I don't put in either. I watch what they do and I watch how things play out because of course politicians do one thing and then the rest of us have to deal with what they're doing. Right? We have to deal with the fallout. But yeah, it's some things going on here that's just like, really? There were some things that I liked, some things that I don't like. Um I will say that when you fly a flag next to the country and state flag, a flag that pertains to identity of what you do in the bedroom next to the national and state flag in the airport, there's a problem. There's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem. So I just wanted to, like I said, go over this with you all and kind of bring your attention. And then, we'll probably examine things as we get closer to this. We'll probably examine things as we get closer to this event because, we kind of have to take stock and see what's going on. And, so probably the week of, depending on what I'm doing, we'll probably, take a look at this again and see what's going on, have things changed, how things are progressing. Again, I'm not saying civil war. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that astrologically, the United States is at a point where things have to change. We have issues going on with our identity, who we are as a country. What does that mean? How does it look for all of us as US citizens? How does this country support citizens? How does it not support citizens? We currently, there's an identity crisis going on. And Pluto in Aquarius is ready to tear things down and restructure things, hopefully for the benefit for what's better. Hopefully. But yeah, this is there is a potential for things to be sudden, like, oh my goodness, what's going on? Again, I'm not saying civil war, I'm not saying it at all. But what I am saying is there's a potential, just looking at this, the potential for things to like, oh wow, that's wow. So how do you calculate the birth charts of cities and countries? You would do the date of founding. So like for the United States uses the Sibley chart, which is July 4th, 1776. It's been contended that this was signed around 5:10 p.m. So for the Sibley chart, matter of fact, I have the Sibley chart. So let me pull up the Sibley chart so I can show you all. And I'll just edit all of this out of the rest of the video, but I just want to show you all just because she asked. Let me recently used chart. Let me go to open chart. US declaration chart. Let me open this chart up and show you all. Because Donna asked the question. Donna asked a question. Is this the right one? Let me see. Is it this one? Philadelphia. Okay. Yeah, it's this one. Okay. Let me select this chart. Okay. Let me take a screenshot and then I'm gonna pull up this chart. Oh, where's my screenshot? Okay. Okay. So let me close this out. Let me remove this. I'm gonna bring up the other one. I'm gonna bring up the USA chart. It's not the right one. Bring this up. Okay. Nope, that's not the right one either. Okay. Nope, 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 nope. Okay. Okay. So this is the USA chart. So just because Donna asked, this is the USA chart. So this is what's called the Sibley chart. July 4th, 1776. It's said 5:10 p.m. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So as we can see, we have a lot going on here with this chart. We have a lot going on here. So yeah, when we're talking about um the Pluto return and all like that, we're getting close to that. Okay, Donna, what do you mean with this? I don't know what you mean right here. What does this mean? What's my schedule with everything? You said we have about 3 breakdowns to do and 2 readings. But yeah, so this, like I said, this is the USA chart. This would be called the Sibley chart. So you would calculate for a place, or you calculate for a place or an event, the date and the time that something happened or it's supposed to happen. So this will be considered the birth chart of the United States. But you have to have a time to calculate a chart. But yeah, so like I said, we have a lot going on in here. We have a lot going in here too. A lot going on in here. But yeah, this is the USA chart. So, but yeah, overall, I think, things are going to be interesting. I think things are going to be interesting, and I don't know what's going to happen, but I think it's very important for us to pay attention to what's going on. To what's going on. To what's going on. So, can we do election day? Yeah, eventually I'm going to do that. Eventually I'm going to get into that and kind of see, because again, I was looking at something and it was just like, now let me say this to whatever authorities may be listening. I'm only speaking of astrology. I'm not thinking of doing anything. I saw something that there was the potential for something to happen to someone with power potentially on the same day or around the time of this eclipse that's happening in April. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. So I have to go back and look at that myself and go ahead and investigate and see how that has a potential bearing for things. Um, if you can read between the lines of what I'm saying, along with, someone else potentially, possibly, maybe if something happens to one person, the other person would step in, right? Because that's how things are written, potentially because of their energies as it pertains to this eclipse. And then how does that affect potential elections coming up? It's all very, very interesting and fascinating. She wants to know what we doing first. Okay, Donna. So answering your question, Donna. Yeah, so I have to get into the children of God. Yeah, it just really I'm getting to all of this, and a lot of what I do depends on what's going on here. My day-to-day here at home is not the same every day. So I have to go along with what's going on here day to day here at home. So yesterday, you know, I I was out most of the day. Pretty much after I talked to you all yesterday, we got dressed and we had some errands to run. So I didn't get back home until later and then I crashed. So I did edit the video from yesterday. So the video from yesterday is edited and it starts where it's supposed to start. So my day to day here at home, it just really depends on what I'm doing, what's going on, because every day is not the same. So, but I do want to get into, it's probably going to be tomorrow getting into what's going on with, and I don't know what's going on with the celebrities, right? But let me just say that I'm looking at the energies, and it's the energies that are clashing. It's the energies that are clashing. It's not necessarily them. It's the energies behind them that are clashing. And then again, I find it interesting when people are waiting for Azalea Banks to say something. And whether people like Azalea or not, she is someone potent that people need to watch out for. Because I'm reading energies and I'm just like, okay, I'm looking at this whole Nikki Megan situation, going through the tweets, reading what's going on here. Yeah, it's a lot going on energetically. It's a lot going on energetically. So we'll probably come back tomorrow and talk about that because I have to go do some more digging around and look to see what I see. But yeah, it's real interesting. It's real interesting what's going on with those two. But yeah, getting back to, like I said, the energies, we're gonna have to see how the energies play out. I am gonna, pull up like later charts, election charts. We can examine different people and things like that because especially going into when I'm examining these people, I have to go into some things deeper, right? Some things deeper energetically that's not just, it's a little bit deeper going into astrology. So I have to get into that too. So I have to get into that too. But tomorrow we need to talk about what's going on with the energies. Okay. This isn't really Nikki and Megan beefing. These are energies beefing. These are once I started looking, I was like, okay, these are energies beefing. Oh, and let me make sure. I just want to remind you all. When I did that reading on Nesto, I said he ain't loved that woman. I said Nesto's energy was just like he was raised by pimps or raised in the brothel. And I said that his energies are detrimental to women and that he ain't never loved Shirley. He just wanted her for her money. And we see how that is playing out. So I just want y'all to know I said it first. I, I let y'all know and we see how it's unraveling. So let me just say that. But yeah, I mean, see, we're talking about, see, this is the thing. We have to, this isn't beef. This is not beef. This is energy. This is not beef. This is energy. Okay. Looking at the energy of things, I see what I believe what's going on. I see what's potentially going on. This is energy. This isn't about surface level beef. This is energetically, yeah. This it's interesting. Yeah. No, I picked up on exactly what was going on. Mhm. I sure did say it. Mhm. And now we just see how deep it goes. But I said it. And then the call come out. Yeah, he don't really love her. I said that he don't love her. He ain't never loved her. Yeah. Yes, Aurora. It's interesting, right? It's interesting. But yeah, I'm reading the energies behind it. I'm reading the energies behind it. I'm reading the energies behind it. It's real interesting. So we'll probably get into that tomorrow. We'll probably get into that tomorrow because I want to make sure I have time to fully get into it. We're gonna be here for at least an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, getting into it tomorrow. Hopefully not that long, but we're gonna get into it tomorrow because I was looking at this. I'm like, okay, so now I see what's going on. It's real interesting. So yeah, we got to get into that. We got to get into all of it. High vibe. We got to get into it, girl. We got to we got to get into it, and we will tomorrow. We will tomorrow. So, but yeah, so I hope that this stream was interesting, giving you all some things to think about. Giving you all some things to think about. Hey, boo, you've been in the clouds. Yes. I'm glad you've been here in the clouds. Listen, we understand what it is. We understand what it is, right? Yeah, it's very interesting. So please email me or go into the comments section and tell me what charts you want me to pull up so we can examine these charts together. Because I'm having a fascinating time going into the charts and being astrologically nosy. Yeah, it's interesting. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. Huh. And this right here is projection. This right here is projection. Because believe it or not, if you look at Nicki Minaj's chart, she's opportunistic per her chart. So projection. But yeah, so I hope that this was giving you all something to think about as it pertains to what's going on in this country, what's going on with its citizens, how all this relates to the country having an identity crisis. Things aren't working the way that they need to work or should work. And what this could potentially mean for us, how this could potentially play out. So it's very interesting. We still have to keep looking into things. And again, like I said, we'll revisit this as it gets closer to that time or even afterward, because I do like to see how things quote unquote play out. I don't know if you all remember the paparazzi pepperini, the pepperoni stream, the astrology of the pepperoni, right? How that played out, going to look at the astrology. So if you have not looked at that video, go check out my video. It was a review, the astrology of the pepperoni, of the 2020 pepperoni. So make sure you go review that because a lot of stuff is there. and written. We just have to go look and study things and see. So that was a really good stream. That was a really good stream. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm going to go. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm going to go, and I will see you all around. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm probably gonna go ahead and just make the live stream and set it up, and then just come back to you all tomorrow. So, but we're going to talk about the energetics. So that's going to be an esoteric stream. That won't necessarily be a reading. That's going to be more into like an esoteric conversation about what's going on. If I feel the need to pull out cards, then I will. But for the most part, we're talking energy. We're going to be looking at things. We're going to be talking at energy tomorrow with this whole situation. Go back to it. I edited the video. I edited the video forever, ever. So it's correct now. It's correct now. So go back and watch it. I think it's only about 25 minutes. So it's not long. So you can go back and watch it. You can go back and watch it forever, ever. Like I said, I edited it so that it's correct. So yeah, all right. I will see you all tomorrow. See you all around these YouTube streets. And let's get ready for the stream tomorrow. Love you all. Be safe and enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Bye. Hey, Nyla. I was just about to click off. And here's Nyla. Hey, girl. Hey, girl. Yeah, it's interesting, boo. It's interesting, boo. So it's very, very interesting. So, we're just speculating. We're just speculating with it all, Nyla. Just speculating. We're gonna see what's gonna happen. We're gonna speculate. But yeah, like I was saying. So let me just tell Nyla, tomorrow we're looking into the energies of Nikki and Megan. Because the energies, they doing some things. I don't fully think. Let me not say that. We're gonna look into this Nikki and Megan thing tomorrow, Nyla. So if you got time, please come over here and join us because the energies they doing something. They're doing something. Okay, but for real, I'm gonna go now. I need to put the laundry in the dryer. So I'll see you all. Love you all. Take care. Bye.